Hi guys, how are you? Welcome to Amma Show. Today with Ask Master Anything. I'm gonna be your host. My name is Angela, and today I went to the CC Plus group and I got some questions from our creators. So yeah, let's start.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste. So one of the things that they were asking a lot, the creators were about relationships. And I think this is one of the big topics because we are all humans and we revolve about relationships. So I think to start with, one of the questions that they were asking is how important is for you to love yourself?
Somebody asked how important it
Yeah.
is to love themselves. That's a interesting question. It's extremely important. It's the fundamental. If you can't love yourself, then how can other people love you? You know? I think it's an interesting one actually, because sometimes when you're in that victim game and you feel like nobody's to love you and you're not good enough and
Mm-hmm.
all the rest of it, I think then there's seeking attention from outwards. And what happens is usually those people also get attention, and what appears to be other people coming in to try to love you, but it's extremely difficult to love somebody who doesn't love themselves. And I'm sure everybody's had this experience before where you're telling somebody how great they are, how amazing they are, how confident they are, or how beautiful they are, and they're
Mm-hmm.
saying no, 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 no. I'm not, I'm not, I'm not, and they just push everything away. So this is actually the whole concept of it is just the act of receiving
Mm-hmm.
and giving. And one of the things that we say at a lot of our events is that the importance of receiving, and actually receiving is the biggest form of giving.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever, Angela, been in a situation before where you try to give a lot, give a lot to other people, but then they just don't receive. They're like, no, 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 it's okay. No, no, it's okay. Or maybe you've been that person before.
I think at some point it has been for both scenarios where you want to give but they don't want to take, or in my case, I don't receive as I should receive.
Uh-huh.
So I think definitely like I've been in both the scenarios where it's kind of tricky, but it goes back to the self love part and being able to actually learn how to receive those things.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of people. They feel they are too humble to receive that, but they don't realize actually the biggest courage comes from loving yourself and actually allowing other people to love you.
So do you think it's like being humble, saying, oh, no, 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 I'm not going to take it? Is that being humble, or because you just said that being humble,
It's
or
not. I
what
think
is
in
it?
their mind they're thinking they're being humble by doing
Mhm.
that, um, but I don't think it's actually that, because what's actually happening. Let's say, for example, you're with your partner. Let's say, and And if every single time your partner try to give something to you, you always say, no, 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 it's okay. I'll sort it out myself. I sort it out myself. We need to realize one thing. I mean, let me ask you this question. When you help other people, do you feel really happy?
Yeah, it gives me a lot of fulfillment within me.
Right? So it makes you happy to help other people. And that's because in human needs psychology, there's 6 basic human needs, and the sixth need is the need for contribution.
Hmm.
Now, when you don't, when you are helping other people, you are satisfying that highest need, the need for contribution, and that's why you're extremely happy, because it's our biggest need as a human being. Now, think of it this way. Now, your partner is trying to help you. Every time the partner tries to help you, you're saying, no, 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 it's okay. I'll sort it myself. What you are actually saying is, I am not going to allow you to satisfy your need for contribution. Okay?
That's so weird, but it is what happens. Like
So
on your subconscious
yeah.
mind.
So in on your side, you are thinking, no, it's okay. Maybe even from love, you're thinking, no, it's okay, honey. I will sort it myself.
Hmm.
You just do your thing. But in another way, you're saying, go screw yourself. Okay, I'm not going to allow you to satisfy that need. So that's why we say actually receiving is a very big form of giving. So when it comes to self love, I think it's important to understand number one, right? If you really don't even think about self love, think about loving other people.
Right.
If you like to make other people happy, right? For anybody who's listening right now, if they like to make anybody else happy, then it's important for them to make themselves happy. You can only give what you have.
Yeah.
You can't give what you don't have. And so it's very important to fill your own cup first. And when you fill your own cup, then you have that capacity to be able to help more people out there.
So you think like when, right, like if you have the first thing, which is love yourself or relationship, how does that then affect all your relationship? One of the other questions that they were asking is how the forgiving, if we don't forgive, how does that affect our vibration, our manifestation?
If they don't forgive others,
Or others, or maybe in the case,
forgive themselves even.
sometimes you pay attention too much to forgive others, but in reality maybe you need to forgive yourself. So it goes back to the whole loving yourself first. But how does not forgiving affects your vibration to manifest?
Well, it affects great, because this is the thing. We need to think, okay, if we had to put some words to the opposite of forgiving, what type of words would you put?
Opposite to forgiving.
Just
Yeah,
random
just
words.
love and
The
caring.
opposite. Right. So forgiving is probably love, right?
Oh, well, resentment or
Right. Okay. So
anger.
so this
Yeah.
question actually doesn't need to be asked to whoever asked it, is because it's very simple. We already see. So we're asking if by not forgiving, is it low vibrational frequency? Well, is it not good for manifestation? Well, actually, we already just established there. If it's resentment, it's hate, it's anger, it's frustration,
Automatically it just goes
then
down.
you're already on the lowest spectrum of the vibrational frequency chart. So it's very important to forgive yourself. Let go of the past. Forgive other people. And when we're in that phase of attachment, attaching to that hate and anger, and we think we're hating them, actually, number one, you're not doing them any good, which probably you have this revenge feeling maybe. But what you need to understand is, by revenging, you're not doing yourself any good. That's the biggest problem here. So actually, forgiveness is something that must be done.
There is something that I always see, like ever since I started working with you, and even before, like how do you manifest your ex back? And it keeps coming up the same question: how do you manifest your ex back? So, how do you like? What would you like to manifest your ex back, right? Or is it goes back to like how, because there were some questions that they were saying
So I
how to
didn't manifest
manifest.
my ex back, and my goal is not to manifest my ex back. So
So, but what I'm trying to say is like, how does all of these things about, because it goes back to your self love and forgiving, and if something comes the way, like for example, you are in a relationship and by misunderstanding you decided, to break up, but it's not because it's a toxic relationship, then you want to manifest. Like, how does that work? Like, would you still want to manifest, or do you let it go? Like, do you believe in destiny? Like, how?
no, I think that at the end of the day, if everything is supposed to be, it will be that way. Destiny has its ways. We also have the free will, which works with destiny actually, because there's multiple paths of destiny. So in a sense, it's not that. I think that what we need to understand to a situation when we've just broken up from a relationship is, are we reacting or are we responding? And I think that will better give us the answer. I'm not saying that because there's a lot of people who actually get back to their old lovers and then they get married, have kids, they have a beautiful, beautiful life ahead, and people have changed and all the rest of it. So I'm not saying it's not possible. So manifesting X back isn't a bad thing, but naturally for a lot of people, their reaction would be, why would you want to do that, And because that's in reactive mode. Let's say, for example, you're just broken up, and then obviously in that moment you're upset, you're attached, your emotions are attached. So then you think, oh, I can't live without this person, I need to manifest them back quickly. So that is reactive. If you're responding to the situation, you're actually looking at the situation. Hey, wait there a second. Am I really the best for that person? Is that person really the best for me? Do I make that person happy? Does that person make me happy? Are we really that compatible? Does it work that way? Right? Are we on the same wavelength? And so we can respond to come to the conclusion and say, is it good for me or is it not good for me?
Well, you have to go through a lot of self-discovery and self-love to be able to
You
go
do.
through
I
that
mean,
process of thought.
it's not a simple thing to do. However, it just makes sense. It makes everything easier. It's because Angela, I think the way I look at things is very simple. Everybody should have their goals and their passion and the things they want in life.
Mhm.
Is the other person allowing you to be who you want to be? And if it's empowering, then you go. If it's interrupting, then it shouldn't be the case. Because again, self-love is most important. So let's start from looking after self once we are happiest. If we're sacrificing everything for the other person and we're unhappy, but we're making the other person happy,
Right.
actually, you're not really happy, you know? And the other person isn't really happy because deep down inside, the other person can feel that you're out of alignment. And when you're out of alignment, it's going to end anyway.
So you
So-
will say that it will be, for a good, healthy relationship, is to be two independent persons, having their own goals, having their own mind, their own goals in life, and then being able just to share that together.
And where they can come together and both kind of empower each other along their journey, and both are open for that growth, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would be one question that the person who is going through a breakup
Mm-hmm.
and they just need to come back to this question to see if they want to manifest them or not? Like, what would be one question that they should ask themselves at the moment of trying to
I think
manifest
that was the question. I think the question is this relationship making me feel more positive? Is this relationship making the other person feel more positive? Right? Is it allowing us to grow? Right? Are we learning? Are we growing from this? Or is it actually a lot of frustration, and is it putting each other into negative vibrations? And I think based on that answer, you already know whether we should pursue this or not.
Yeah, because sometimes the whole love world will be a little bit...
People get lost in love.
Yeah,
It's
like
normal.
it's not...
When emotions is
subjective.
high, intelligence is low. We
low,
always
yeah.
say that. Yeah. The other.
Well, thank you so much, Master, for today. I think this was
Namaste.
really helpful for many of us. So guys, if you like this video, if you learned something, please subscribe to this channel. Comment below what you like the most if you have any other questions. Also, we have our Creator Circle. Plus, if you haven't signed up, just go there. We usually take all our questions from there. So any questions that you want to ask Master, just please drop them in and we'll make sure to go ahead and ask you. But for now, namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.